The heart of your teams. The heart of Atlanta. Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart of the fan.
Hey, if there's someone you wanted on the mound, you got him going tonight.
Here's Max Fried at his best. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Scherzer. And a swing and a miss. He struck out the side, and he struck him out with the high heat. Back-to-back Ks for Scherzer. He struck him out. Max Fried will finish with a flourish tonight. World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. 3 games are down, 2 games are left, and boy, it's going to be aces high for the Braves and Mets this evening and again tomorrow afternoon. The Braves dropped an 8-5 decision in Game 1 of our day-night doubleheader in New York. They start play for the nightcap, 4.5 games behind the New York Mets. Hi again, everybody. Chip and Jeff, great to be back with you. We're working overtime. Hopefully, Jeff, with 2 more wins left potentially for the Braves, they can leave town with a series win. Who better to get that done than Braves ace Max Fried? He's opposing Max Scherzer.
Yeah, the first 3 games of the series so far have been really kind of dominated by offense. This one, I think, might be a little bit different. You talk about 2 aces. We're going to start first with the Braves and Max Fried. See the last 8 starts, 2.09. 18 career games versus the Mets have been great. Last time versus the Mets, the one thing we might have felt he'd been amped a little too much, 5 walks. But look for him tonight to come out and I think throw a great ball game. And he's going to have to, because on the other side, obviously, Max Scherzer for the Mets. The Braves have faced him numerous times. You see the last 4 starts versus Atlanta, though, they have hit 7 long balls against Max. So they've been able to kind of have some success. They're going to need a little bit of that tonight because, look, they need to get this game tonight to even the series going tomorrow. But a great pitching matchup.
Indeed, because Max Fried is unbeaten on the road this year. We hope that trend continues in the nighttime portion of our day-night doubleheader. Dansby Swanson, as you'd expect, is back in the lineup for the Braves in the nightcap. He's been dynamic. He's been the Braves Iron Man, and he stops by for a visit with Kelly Kroll right after this.
Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Welcome back to Citi Field. Game 4 of this 5-game series between the Braves and Mets. The nightcap of the day-night doubleheader is on the way. So guys have had just a little bit of time to kick their feet up, rest, relax, and get some dinner before they go back to work. And this is what the dog days of August are all about. And it's also why it's so important for these guys to be taking care of themselves and figuring out just what works so they are playing their best baseball, not only right now, but also in October. You look at Dansby Swanson. This is a guy that has started in all 108 games along with Matt Olson. Had a chance to catch up with the Braves shortstop and just see what he has figured out over these last few years about keeping himself in shape and playing his best right now.
Been blessed the last couple of years to be able to stay healthy, and obviously praying that trend continues. But I mean, you start to learn how to take care of your body, certain things, what you need to be eating, drinking, how to get your rest, massages, treatment, like in the weight room, just spending the necessary time on your body, because your body is your business. And I feel like that's something that you learn just by going through it. And then when you're at the field, you start to understand, how to limit swings, how to limit how many ground balls I'm taking, and just to keep myself fresh, because what matters is what happens at 7 o'clock, not what happens at 5 o'clock. And so just kind of that mentality is important.
Well, Dansby expanded upon that a little bit. The gluten-free and peanut-free diet, that's what's working for him right now. But here's a look at the Ironman. Braves have a couple of them. Matt Olson, 242 most consecutive games played. That is the active MLB streaks. He's at the top of the list. And Dansby Swanson, 128 games, as we mentioned. But it would not be hard to get up for this one that's on the way. Certainly, it is the battle of Mad Max and Maximus here in the Big Apple. Boys are ready to go, so are we here on Bally Sports. We appreciate you being with us here this evening. Like I said, game 4 of 5 on the way.
Beautiful night, big crowd on hand in New York for game 2 of our day-night doubleheader. Ronald Acuna Jr. is having himself a great series at the plate, 7 hits, and he leads off the Braves Toyota starting lineup. A little bit of a change with Ede Adrianza getting his first start of the season at second base. Michael Harris will move up and hit 8th, and the Braves will have their hands full. Max Scherzer is on the mound. He's sporting a 7-2 record on the year.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about it. The last 35 innings against the Braves scored 15 runs on them. But as you see on the bottom there, July 11th, he threw a gem down at Truist Park. But look, these guys know each other really well. He's going to throw that fastball, slider, and changeup, and he's going to compete. You got to get after it early.
Scherzer missed 6 weeks with an oblique problem. He is back, and we are underway as that pushes Ronald off the plate on an 87-degree night. 1 ball, no strikes for Ronald, who's 7 for 14 against the Mets in this series. Max Scherzer is 11-9 for his career against the Braves. He's made 26 starts against the Bravos, and his 9 losses are the most he has recorded against any major league team. So when Scherzer's been at his best, the Braves have been at their best, and hopefully that's the case tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It is so good to see Ronald rolling at the plate in this series. And 2 hits in game 1 today. The 2-2. Chased a slider. 1 out. So Max Scherzer has the first out. Jeff, what are the Ford keys for the Braves to rebound in game 2?
I'd say it'd be nice to get a first inning run. Get going quick for this Braves offense. We talked about this last night, how the Mets have struggled when they have not scored first in a game. And look, you need to get a split today. You got Max Fried on the mound. It sets it up for you to win a series tomorrow. Hopefully he can pitch a good game. Believe he will.
The Braves, as you mentioned, 25-1 this year when they lead after the first inning. As Dansby Swanson takes a strike. Manny Gonzalez has the plate for game 2. Dansby went 0 for 5 earlier today. He's hitting .295 for the year. And that's golfed back our way and into the crowd. Max Scherzer, a 3-time Cy Young Award winner, an 8-time All-Star. 3,130 career strikeouts. One ball, 2 strikes. Matt Olson's next, then Austin Riley. We hope here in the top of the first inning. Big crowd filing into Citi Field for game 4 of this 5-game set. Slider after slider to the right-hand hitters. 2 outs. And here is Matt Olson. Matt's hit 3 of his 21 homers against Mets pitching this year. And he has 3 RBIs so far in the series. Scherzer coming off a super game against the Nationals. 105 pitches, 2 earned runs in 6 2/3 innings at his old stomping grounds at Nationals Park. And he is working at a frantic pace. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, both these guys tonight, they like to get the ball and go.
High fly ball toward Marte in right, and Max Scherzer with a 1-2-3, top of the first inning. Here comes Max Fried. Games against our Braves head-to-head. A subtle change or two to his Toyota starting lineup. Mark Canha gets the start. Escobar's in at third base. Darren Ruff will play first. Pete Alonso will be the designated hitter in Game 2. And I don't envy the Mets hitters either. They run into Max Fried, who's been an ace all year. Jeff, looking for win number 11.
Yeah, he has been outstanding. You see in 8 road starts, undefeated, 5-0 with a 2.73. See that whip just over 1. Another guy, just like Scherzer, is going to try to pound that zone, get ahead, and work quick.
He'll start with Brandon Nimmo, then Starling Marte and Francisco Lindor. Max Fried has been brilliant. 5-0 on the road in 8 starts for the Braves. Lifetime 5-4 against the Mets. And coming off a no decision against the Diamondbacks that saw him throw 7 shutout innings. His night off to a good start. A called strike on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball for Brandon Nimmo. Max Fried making an historic start personally tonight. This is his 100th start as a big league pitcher. And he's got Brandon Nimmo behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Remember, in the early days of Max's career, he started occasionally, pitched out of the bullpen quite a bit as he made his way back, fully recovered from Tommy John surgery. Now he's arguably the best left-hander in the league. An even count to Nimmo, who's got a couple of hits in this series. And 4 multi-hit games in the last 9 atop the Mets batting order. Nobody on or out, just underway. Game 2 in New York. That's hit softly toward left, and a can of corn for Eddie Rosario. Nimmo's retired. 1 man out for Starling Marte. Marte scored a couple of runs earlier in the day. It was a quick turnaround for both the Braves and Mets. The first game was a near 4-hour extravaganza won by New York 8-5. A lot of offense. 25 hits, 23 men left on base between the two teams. Braves tried to mount a 9-inning comeback. Ninth inning comeback, I should say. They scored 3 times, but fell 8-5. Here's Marte with the bases empty.
You know, last time the Mets were in town, Max threw 5 innings. Only gave up 2 runs, but he had 5 walks that day.
I think he and the whole Braves starting staff were frustrated.
Yep.
That's what Rick Kranitz told us at the start of this series. The Mets don't strike out. You have to make quality pitches and force them to put the ball in play.
And I think every once in a while, too, we can see Max be too amped up sometimes, and, you know, that gets him a little wild. Tonight looks a lot more relaxed.
On the ground, right to Riley. A step to his right, and a throw right on the money to retire Marte. It's out number 2. So the Mets make contact. Fried 2 outs on 8 pitches. Here's Francisco Lindor. Lindor had a super first game. 3 hits, 2 runs, and 3 RBIs. He hit his 20th home run. Yeah. Hit off the orange line right at the 408 sign.
And they reviewed it.
Just inside for Lindor, who's a better hitter left-handed than right. But still 19 homers, 77 runs batted in. Sharply hit and under the glove of Dansby Swanson. Brave shortstop couldn't handle that hot shot off Lindor's bat. Will await the scoring.
That was a little slider. Lindor hit it hard, but that's a play you're used to seeing Dansby make.
That's an error on Dansby Swanson. So that brings Pete Alonso to the plate, the National League's RBI leader with 92 of them. Fried has that great pickoff move, as you know. And Lindor edges away from first. Ball one.
Man. Nothing wrong with that pitch.
Braves weren't too happy with the strike zone from Jeff Nelson in game one. And Fried has to work a little harder now against Alonso, a man he has struck out 10 times head to head. So Lindor back to first after Dansby's first error in 38 games. And Max Fried to the stretch for the first time tonight. Very comfortable night in New York. The wind blowing out toward the bullpens in right field. Alonso, a big, strong right-hand hitter. The pitch. Nasty. Even count. Max Fried against New York this year is 1-1. He's allowed 4 earned runs in 11 innings against the Mets so far. Runner at first. 2 outs. The pitch. And he's got Alonso right where he wants him now. A ball and 2 strikes.
What you love too is him getting ahead with all fastballs. 3 straight ones to Pete. Now you can either try to bust him inside, go up with that high fastball, or you can throw something off speed.
One ball, 2 strikes. Lindor a good lead. The pitch. A floater is served into left field. 2-strike knock for Pete Alonso. So after the error, Alonso with a soft single to left. A 2-strike hit brings up Darren Ruff.
I like the call and I like the pitch selection, just too far up. That ball needed to be a little bit down more, and you probably got an easy ground ball. Alonso very strong, keeps his hands back.
That brings up Darren Ruff. This is why they brought this man in from the Giants. Ruff versus left-handed pitching. 2 on, 2 outs. Ruff overall this year hitting .257 with 26 RBIs against left-handers. He has 40 RBIs in total on the year. The 0-1 pitch. There has been a lot of two-out trouble for both of these offenses in the first 3 games. Max has a little bit of it here in the opening inning. And Ruff awaits a 1-1. Top of the zone. He got the call.
Everything's been kind of in. I don't even mind a changeup or fastball running away here.
Struck him out. A fastball at 95. Max Fried has his first strikeout, and we head to a scoreless second. Super starting pitchers. We have a matchup of 2 of the game's great young sluggers and budding stars for the Braves and Mets. Austin Riley is an MVP candidate for Atlanta. Pete Alonso, as we mentioned, serving as the DH today, leads the National League in RBIs. This one's going to be fun tonight as Austin Riley leads off the second for the Braves with 29 homers, 69 RBIs, and a .299 batting average on the year. And I think Max Scherzer has served notice as to what he's going to do to the right-hand hitters tonight. His slider is really moving. Riley 2 for 10 against Max Scherzer with a home run in his career. The pitch. 93 miles an hour. It's 1-2. You know Scherzer is going to be around the plate. He has only walked 17 men this year. He has struck out 111 of them. Let's see what Riley gets with a 2-2 count. Fought it off. Little extra on that fastball from Scherzer.
Yeah, he doesn't have the 98, 99 like he used to, but he still can get it up there at 95, 96 with movement.
As you said, he doesn't throw 98. He doesn't have to. A 31% strikeout rate for all batters faced by Max Scherzer this year. And when he gets to 2 strikes and has that slider, it's up to 50%.
Yeah, this is where you wonder too, though, is he'll drop that occasional changeup on righties sometimes.
Big curveball. 3rd strikeout for Scherzer. 4 up, 4 down for the Braves, and Eddie Rosario, the hitter.
That's going into the bag of tricks there. You don't see him throw too many curveballs.
Rosario has a 3-run homer in this series. Braves get another left-handed bat in the lineup with Scherzer on the mound. Rosario hitting 5th behind Austin Riley.
Good swing.
Eddie's bat has come to life here in recent days. 10 RBIs in his last 10 games. The 0-2. 2 outs. So Travis d'Arnaud is the batter. d'Arnaud was the DH in game 1. He and William Contreras have been excellent offensively behind the plate. Jeff, that's our Bounty quick stats.
Yeah, they have been really good combined this year. These numbers are just as the catcher for them, not as a DH. 24 home runs combined. Next closest is the Cubs in Kansas City with 18 each. So great work.
One ball, one strike for Travis d'Arnaud, the Braves catcher and former Met. 24 career home runs here at Citi Field. And was a touch late there. It's 1-2. Driven toward right, long run Marte. He can't get it. That's in the corner. And d'Arnaud is on his way to second base. And that's the first Atlanta hit. It comes with 2 outs in the second inning. For Travis, his first extra base hit since July the 6th.
A beautiful job. Takes this ball the other way, 96. Tell you something to keep an eye to as the game goes on. Max is really kind of letting it go a little more than we're used to seeing to me early in the game. If he starts trying to overthrow, maybe that ball straightens up a little bit.
Well, let's see if Ozuna can shoot one the other way and give the Braves a second inning lead. Ozuna 1 for 9 in the series. Little pop. Rough on the run. Foul ground on the first pitch. And that's your inning. No runs. 1 hit and 1 left. Still scoreless at Citi Field. Baseball is brought to you by Truist. Big crowd here in New York at Citi Field. We had 37,000 plus for game 1. The duel as good as expected to start. Max Fried, Max Scherzer, no score, home second coming up. Max worked around a hit and an error in the first inning. Had to throw 8 extra pitches after the E6 from Dansby Swanson. And he'll start the second inning with Escobar, Canha, and Luis Guillorme, who's got the start at second base for the Mets in game 2. Escobar with 12 homers and a .220 Mets batting average. First pitch swing for him and popped up. d'Arnaud gives chase, but has no play. Strike 1 for the Mets third baseman, who's 3 for 11 against Max Fried with 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, just like Marcel, you saw him pop. That one was able to get out of play by Escobar. Imagine a lot of these players on both teams tonight are going to try to find something hard the first couple pitches and put in play. They don't want to get to 2 strikes against these 2 pitchers. Puts you in a hole.
Up the middle, but Adrianza perfectly positioned. He makes his first throw as a starter and takes care of Escobar for out number 1. Mark Canha is up. Canha 0 for 4 so far in the series.
I was excited to get Adrianza back. I really was. I just appreciated the at-bats he put together last year. He's a big part of that team. Professional hitter.
And can spell everybody on the infield.
Yeah, and you feel good that he can't play for 5 days, and you can put him in there, and you're going to get a quality AB.
So Mark Canha with a .266 average and 34 RBIs is the Mets hitter. Fried getting ahead and throwing strikes against the toughest National League team to strike out, the New York Mets. That was a good pitch, but it just missed to Mark Canha. 2 balls and a strike. It's been fun for me, Jeff, watching the evolution of Max Fried as a pitcher, as a youngster with great stuff, throws hard. Wanted to rack up strikeouts. That's really undergone a change for him in recent times. In the month of July, he went 3-1, averaged less than a strikeout per inning pitched, but had a .213 ERA. Getting the ball in play and using his terrific defense behind him has been extremely beneficial.
Well, you remember when he first came up, even as early as the early part of last year, he loved throwing that curveball a lot. I mean, we always talked about it, and don't get me wrong, it's a great curveball, but to me, not throwing it as much has allowed him to develop his other pitches and become the ace that he is.
Let's see if he comes back on a full count pitch with 1 out. Driven to right, well hit. Retreating is Ronald, and he reaches out with the left paw and makes the grab a step shy of the fence. Canha hit it hard, but Ronald tracked it down. 2 men are out. Here's Guillorme. He's picked up 3 hits in this series. Most of his action has been at third base tonight. In game 4 of the series, he gets the start for Jeff McNeil at second.
I was a little surprised McNeil wasn't in there tonight, but I guess, you know, trying to give him maybe a rest too.
Especially Jeff, he's got a 9-game hitting streak.
Yeah.
So McNeil getting ready for Spencer Strider, who pitches the finale for the Braves here tomorrow. Jacob deGrom will make his first start against the Braves this year for the Mets. You win tonight, you got a chance to win the series in New York. That would be a great way to go into the off day in Boston for the Braves. The pitch. No shift for Luis Guillorme. They shade him slightly toward left in the Braves outfield. And there's the big curveball. It froze him, and Max Fried has his second strikeout. Guillorme didn't think so, but Max Fried has his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Beautiful pitch, good result. Scoreless after 2 in Gotham.
Citi Field. Michael Harris leading things off. 5 for 11, a home run and 3 RBI in this series so far. But a big grin when I ask him about facing Max Scherzer a second time. He goes, man, these are the big games you'll live for in August and September. But I thought Brian Snitker had something good to say about him too, guys, when he mentioned how it appears that he's just built for these big games and moments. It's like he's got a slow heartbeat all of the time. He's got all the great qualities you want to see out of a kid when you're going to be playing in monstrous series games like this. So I like that. I like that from Snit, and I know we're seeing him turn heads defensively as well, but he's just continued to impress in these games.
Yeah, and the thing that makes it so dynamic is what you said, the heartbeat. He to me, he's so even keeled, and in games like this, that's, you know, you can come out sometimes and be so aggressive, and that's exactly what Max Scherzer wants you to be out there, jumping at the ball. And for Michael, he's got a good way of letting the game come in. I was so impressed first game. He struck out the first 3 times, got down 0-2 to Ottavino, fouled off 6 or 7, and then got that base hit. That was impressive.
Not bad for the youngest player in the major leagues. Michael Harris with 10 home runs, a .289 average, a homer and 3 RBIs in this series. A potential rookie of the year for Atlanta. Spoil that one from Scherzer. It's off to our left. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fourth choice for Max Scherzer coming up. And Harris lifts that towards center. Nimmo drifting over and back and has room. There is out number 1. So Harris hitting 8th, Adrianza hitting 9th. Then Ronald Acuna will bat here in the second inning. Braves got Adrianza from the Nationals, where he hit 179 and drove in 7 runs. I'm with you. This guy's a terrific person, great player. How many times did he bail out the Braves with Pablo Sandoval in the early going last season? Yeah. Big hits, pinch hit homers. And he turns on that ball and whacks it off the netting foul. It's strike 1 for the Braves second baseman. Braves are still hoping to get Ozzie Albies back before season's end. He's coming back from the broken foot. In his stead, Adrianza, Robinson Cano, and Orlando Arcia have gotten the bulk of the reps at second base for the Braves. The guesstimation for Ozzie, start of September. And that's subject to change as Ede didn't get that, and Scherzer has him behind in the count. Two balls, 2 strikes. To a man who hopes to be a big league general manager someday. Ede Adrianza might have gotten a swing on the house here.
Yes, he did. You wonder because Nito was wanting it up, but break for Adrianza. Now see if he can take advantage of it, get on base.
Full count. Adrianza taking sports management classes.
Nice.
So maybe he'll run a big league club someday. He's trying to run a good at bat against Scherzer here. The pitch. And strike 3 at the top of the zone. Max Scherzer has struck out 5 of the first 9 Braves. And we go back to the top of the order.
Yeah. The 2-2-3-2, one of those he was going to call.
Ronald struck out on a slider to start the night. The way these guys are looking on the mound, one might be enough for either club. Hope we get it. Pitch is popped up. Nido gives chase in the middle of the warning track, and Acuna pops out, and the Braves are retired in order in the third. Braves fans have come from all over the Northeast for this big showdown between the top two clubs in the National League East. Max Fried, Max Scherzer, both looking terrific after 2.5 innings so far. Tomas Nido will lead off, then Brandon Nimmo, then Starling Marte against Max Fried, who has struck out 2 of the first 8 he has seen tonight. What are these games like as a hitter when you're facing guys like Max Fried, Max Scherzer?
I mean, you hope one of them makes a mistake and you can, take advantage of that, or hope they're not on their game that night. Both guys seem to be in a nice groove right now. It's the one thing where as the game goes on, I think both guys are in a groove like they are, favors the Braves a tiny bit because of the power of their lineup, a chance to run into one.
And as you mentioned, the Braves have hit 7 home runs against Max Scherzer in recent times.
Braves, man, until last start when he came to Atlanta, Braves actually done really well against Max and had some good ABs, but he threw a gem in Atlanta.
And Max Fried matching him pitch for pitch to this point. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nido hitting .218, 18 RBIs. He's got a hit in the series. He and James McCann splitting the catching duties evenly. And this is what the Mets do. They make contact. Even with 2 strikes, they'll foul pitches off and try to force a mistake. The 2-2. Swinging a fly ball hit hard toward left and over the glove of Rosario, up over the wall. And Nido is on his way to second with a leadoff double.
Max wanted that ball in more. Right here, Rosario gave it a good effort, and then you were hoping this ball would bounce back to him where he could catch this right here, because Nido, probably the slowest runner of both teams right now, but he was able to sneak into second.
So let's see how the Mets play it. You've got Nimmo, the leadoff man, runner at second, nobody out. The Mets will sacrifice bunt. This one though popped up. Darno's got that. Thank you very much. Nimmo can't get the bunt down.
What a break.
Nimmo had 2 sacrifices. The Mets had 15, but that bunt went straight up in the air and an easy play for the Braves catcher. 1 out.
We talk about sometimes how the sacrifice bunt has kind of gone away in baseball. Now, I think one of the reasons you're seeing is because of that right there, Chip. It's never practiced. So even though he's a guy that plays center field and he's fast, you would assume he could do it. But if you don't practice it and then all of a sudden you try to practice this off a guy throwing 95 with cut, good luck.
So Fried gets a break. Let's see if he can take care of Marte with 1 out.
That's why a lot of managers will say, you know what, I'll take 3 chances to see if I can get a hit.
Marte grounded out in his lone at bat in the game. Max Fried pumping the strike zone, 7 out of 10 on first pitch strikes. Like the Braves, the Mets have done good work against left-handed pitching. Marte hitting .336 this year against lefties. And almost guided that down the first base line. 2 balls and a strike. Nido leads at second. Remember, he is a catcher. 2 balls and a strike. If you lose Marte, you do set up a potential double play with Francisco Lindor. And that's exactly what the Braves face. First and second with 1 out. And Lindor, a better hitter left-handed than right. And he hit the ball to shortstop his first time up sharply, though, and it snuck under the glove of Dansby Swanson for a 2-out error. As a right-handed batter, Lindor hitting .235, but just 1 double play. First and second in the New York third. Line drive center field, base hit. Harris comes up cleanly, and the Mets will not run on his cannon arm, and a perfect strike to the plate. So Lindor jumps on the first pitch, a single to center, and the bases are loaded for Pete Alonso, and 1 out.
Coming to that at bat, Lindor was 4th in the NL with runners in scoring position and base hits, 33.
Alonso, a 2-strike hit his first time up. He's the RBI leader in the league. And Max needs to make a pitch. Alonso has hit into 11 double plays. That's what Fried is looking for here. Little pop fly, shallow right. Acuna can't get there. That's going to score a run. Pete Alonso with a soft hit to right field brings home Nido, and the Mets strike first. It's 1-0.
Now Max made a good pitch. He got exactly what he wanted. Weak contact, jammed him. Just dumped it in.
So the 93rd RBI for Alonso. And the Braves talk it over on the mound with the bases still loaded. 1 in and 1 out, and Darren Ruff is the hitter. Ruff is another double play candidate. He's bounced into 8 of them. Now to put out the fire here, you can't give Max Scherzer too much room to play with. Three hits and a walk in this Mets third for Max Fried. Mantle Olsen fires to second. Dansby got there. Throw to first. Eludes Max Fried. 1 run scores. Streaking to the plate and scoring is Lindor. And Max Fried and the on-charging base runner at first, Ruff. Max lands awkwardly in foul ground, and he's still on the turf. The Braves get the force of Alonso at second, but the throw escaped Max Fried at first, and 2 more runs come in. It's a 3-0 game. And everybody in Atlanta holding their breath.
Good news is I just saw him mouth "I'm good."
Olsen got rid of that ball very quickly. Yeah, Max just tripped over his own feet and then
Smoked his head.
as he slammed to the ground, his head hit the dirt or hit the turf. So it's a fielder's choice. 3-6 put out at second base. Dansby gets an error. And 1 RBI for Ruff, the reward for putting the ball in play. So Max Fried says he's all right. A scary moment as the Mets now take a 3-0 lead. So here's Escobar. Eduardo tonight is 0 for 1. To center. Harris on his horse. And he's got it. And that retires the side. The Mets rally for 3 runs in the 3rd inning. We go to the 4th. Between innings went down the dugout steps into the tunnel. He'll be checked out by George Poulos, the Braves head athletic trainer. Hopefully he'll be able to continue. As Atlanta has some work to do now after 3 innings, Max Scherzer has been staked to a 3-run lead. And he starts with Dansby Swanson, whom he struck out in the 1st inning.
You knew to have to score some runs tonight. Max with a little bit of bad luck that inning too.
Yeah, the Mets keep throwing out soft hits, but they all count. They've got 4 hits in total tonight. Braves have not been able to connect with that slider yet.
That's where Dansby's really got to set his sights to that right side. If he throws you a fastball, trust it. Kind of like you saw Alonso, you can get jammed on it, throw it out there in right field for a hit, but it keeps you on that slider because right now that's what Max is getting him on.
The one Braves hit was an opposite field double by d'Arnaud. And Dansby takes strike 3, a fastball over the outside corner. That is strikeout number 1 in the 4th inning. Here's Matt Olson. Braves have 2 big extra base boppers in the middle of their lineup again tonight. That's our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Only the Dodgers have more extra base hits in MLB this season than Atlanta. Since June 1st, Riley, 40 extra base hits, most in MLB, 7 more than the next closest.
Right now, Max Scherzer has everything in his arsenal working. Started Olson with a curveball. 8 for 11 is Scherzer in first pitch strikes. "21 homers, 70 RBIs, 53 runs for the first-year Brave, Matt Olson. 10 RBIs this year against the Mets. Against whom we have 8 more games, 7 of them. In fact, the final 7 head-to-head with our division rivals will be in Atlanta, including a big 4-game series that starts after the end of this road trip. It's 1-2. Olson with a shot and into right field, a base hit. So there's a start for the Braves, their second hit. Matt Olson's first career hit against Max Scherzer. 1 on and 1 out in the 4th.
You know, if they take that shift away, Matt's going to be one of the happier guys in baseball. When you hit a ball like this, you don't have to hold your breath the whole time. Oh, lined into right field. Look, almost made the play.
Yorme had him play just a little too low. A good effort. So Riley with a long ball here could make it a 1-run game. Austin struck out his first time. Right now, Jeff, there's nothing that a Braves hitter can pick out to go on a first pitch. Scherzer's throwing the curveball, the slider, the fastball, all on the first pitch to the first 12 hitters.
Ooh.
Got away with one there. That was in Riley's happy zone.
He was ready for that pitch.
Oh, 0-2 for the Braves third baseman. On the ground left side. Lindor third hop. Second base 1. Riley will beat the Rapid first. And the inning will continue with Eddie Rosario. So Olson's forced at second, 6-4. Rosario will try to put it in play with a runner at first now and 2 outs. Rosario touched off a 3-run homer here the other night. His swing was smooth as silk. And the ball exploded off the barrel for a long 3-run homer. We'd like a similar result right here with 2 outs. And he tried to do it. Strike 1.
thing you're seeing with these hitters right now. Kind of too big of swings, I think. Max throws hard enough that if you just get the bat head there, the ball will go. I mean, we talked about Rosario's swing last night, how easy that was, and he clipped it.
A lot of room left side for Rosario if he pushes a ball that way. But Scherzer pulled a string, a rare changeup. And Eddie behind 0-2. High fly ball, but no depth to it. Nimmo is there, and he's got it. And Max Scherzer, a shutdown 4th inning and a 3-0 Mets lead.
Nothing. Good news, Max Fried is back on the bump. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, trying to get this double play ball, and Marte is going home. You see Max throw it. And it wasn't, thank God, his arm or anything, but watch his head right here, Chip. Bam, hits the ground hard. Of course, right away, you can see, looks dazed. Training staff comes out. Gave him a second to kind of get right. Then you see him get on the mound, throw a couple pitches. Snit and them watched him, and the good news is, though, they checked him out underneath. He's back out here for the bottom of the 4th. Hold your breath anytime something like that happens.
And what a great effort by Fried to try anything and everything to cut off the 3rd Mets run. And you're right, lucky he wasn't seriously hurt on that hard head hit on the turf. So now he's got to buckle down and hold him right there. It's 3-0 New York. Mark Canha, the 7th place hitter, leads off. And that bounces up low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Change up.
Good pitch, evens the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Canha took another one.
And that's where Max with Canha, to me, can take advantage a little bit because he's a very patient hitter. You can really put him behind the 8 ball now, 1-2.
Even count for Mark Canha, the Mets left fielder. He's a very deliberate batter. He steps out of the box a lot. Fried's ready to go quickly. And Canha chased outside the zone. Max Fried has a good start to the 4th inning. His 3rd strikeout. 1 man down.
All those change-ups, curveballs, and then what does he do? He's trying to go in. Misses his spot, but Canha saw hard coming in, and he went after it right away.
So 3 strikeouts for Max Fried. Luis Guillorme, the batter, he punched out in the Mets' 2nd inning. One thing we know and love about Max Fried, when he's facing adversity, when you get him mad, he has another gear that he can take his game to.
You feel good in the fact he's going to keep you right here the rest of the way. The other side, Braves going to have to find a way to push some runs.
That floats into Guillorme, and Adrianza makes a routine play, 2 outs. And Tomas Nido, who started the Mets' 3-run third inning with a double, hits for the second time. When we get to the 5th inning, d'Arnaud, Ozuna, and Michael Harris are the scheduled hitters for the Braves. Braves are trying to win their 42nd game since June 1st here in Game 2. Braves are 64-44 on the year. And in for a strike. Changeup's been good. The curveball's been pretty good. But a few too many more soft hits for the Mets, who have 4 hits in total tonight. This ball sharply hit to short. Dansby's got that. And his throw a little high, and Olson was able to get the tag down in time, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. We are going to the 5th inning. 3-0 New York. Here on Bally Sports, Max Scherzer and Max Fried. That's our player comparison, brought to you by Landmark.
These guys so good since starting the season 0-2 with a 5.73. Fried's 10-1 with a 2.3. Since the All-Star break last year, Fried leads MLB in innings pitched, combined regular and postseason.
So he needs a little offensive support here as Max Scherzer has a 3-run advantage.
Oh, crap. Oh.
Wow. The ball boy ran behind home plate to
Scherzer's about to throw it.
Pick up the stuff in the Mets on deck circle just as Scherzer was ready to make his pitch. I think you summed up what a lot of people thought of that sequence to start the inning. Strike 1 for Travis d'Arnaud, who doubled to right.
That's all I said.
There are currently 2 active major league pitchers who have 200 or more wins. Zach Greinke and Justin Verlander, I believe, are those 2. Scherzer is 197 and 99 for his career. 1-2 pitch. And that's hammered down the left field line. d'Arnaud went down and combed that ball into the corner. And he's on his way to second. The throw will be very late. And d'Arnaud has a leadoff double for the Braves. He's making up for lost time, Jeff. 2 doubles in 2 trips tonight.
You know, Grady B, after getting down 0-2, takes a changeup and gets an off-speed pitch. That one just got too much of the plate, and d'Arnaud got out in front, but was able to comb it down the left field line. Last time he got the double, but it was with 2 outs this time to start the inning.
So here's a chance to make a dent on that scoreboard. Marcell Ozuna popped up early in the count. His first time up, so he's 0 for 1. $19 homers for Ozuna, 42 ribbies, 48 runs scored. You're thinking about a home run. Ozuna's hit 2 of them in his career against Scherzer. He is corner to corner, high and low, in and out. With his first 64 pitches, 46 of them are strikes. Scherzer's in the first year of a 3-year deal with the Mets. He's 7-2 on the year and leads 3-0 tonight. Ozuna swings and misses, and that's out number 1 in the Braves' 5th. And Michael Harris, the hitter, he flied out to center his first time up. And Scherzer strikes out 1 of every 3 batters he faces this year. He has 7 strikeouts of the first 16 he's faced so far tonight. Scherzer deflected that, and he comes to a sliding stop. Guillorme fell down as he made his cut to try to retrieve that baseball. And the Braves get a break, Jeff. It's finally Atlanta's turn to get an infield hit. And they're at first and third. Adrianza representing the tying run.
Yeah, good speed by Harrison. Scherzer was able to get a glove on this. Where they were playing the shift right there, that could have been a hit if that got by him and an RBI, but nonetheless, first and third now.
Get one here at least. Get some momentum behind your offense. Adrianza struck out his first time up. They give Hede the left side of the infield. He can shoot one to Scherzer's right. We'll be in business here with 1 out.
Oh, come on.
He doesn't need that kind of help. No balls, 1 strike. Back our way, just like that, it's 0-2. Ronald Acuna Jr. waits on deck. We would bat barring a double play here in the top of the 5th inning. d'Arnaud doubled, Harris singled with 1 out. And now the 0-2 pitch. Harris is running. The pitch is shot towards second. They're going to come home. The throw is going to be in time. Guillorme throws to the plate. They tag out d'Arnaud. The Braves are going to check and see if he got into the back point of the Pentagon. Will the Braves challenge? Apparently not. The shutout bid is still intact. d'Arnaud is the second out.
Yeah, that little freeze, d'Arnaud froze if you saw right off the bat. And that little freeze by him killed him. Was not able to get there because of it.
So d'Arnaud out 4-2 at the plate on a bang-bang play. That is the second out of the inning, but Scherzer's not out of the woods yet. He now has to face Acuna, who represents the tying run. Well, if they don't make that tag, the Braves have a chance for a very big inning. Ronald swings the first one and pops it up. Scherzer 16 out of 19 in first pitch strikes to start the game. The problem is, you know he's around the strike zone. You just don't know which pitch he's going to throw because he's thrown everything early in the count. Chopper toward third and foul. And now Acuna down to his last strike. Good speed on the base pass for the Braves, and in the batter's box with Acuna. So 96 well off the plate. A waste pitch for Scherzer. What do you look for here?
Well, this is where maybe you hope Scherzer's so fired up and amped up right now that he'll make a mistake to Acuna. Facing the guy you want up here right now, 6 hits in this series.
A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch.
Excuse me, 7 hits in this series.
Good work by Ronald to get even at 2-2. Love the fight by Acuna here in the Braves' 5th. Ronald broke a long homerless drought early in this series. Boy, a second homer against the Mets in New York would get the game tied with 2 outs. This is where the Braves have been so fun to watch. Fastball frozen inside corner. The Braves threaten in the 5th, but Max Scherzer has 8 strikeouts and a 3-0 lead. Charlie Morton bobblehead night presented by Napa Auto Parts. The first 15,000 fans join us Monday, August 15th. We'll get that great giveaway of the Braves right-handed star. Get your tickets at braves.com/promos. Max Fried facing the top of the Mets order. Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo is 0 for 2. We are in the home 5th already. That's with a 3-run 3rd inning. Have a game 2 lead. Braves are trying to avoid being swept in a doubleheader for the 2nd time this year by the Mets.
Yeah.
On the ground on 1 hop. Adrianza's got that. As the fans below us try to cool off on a warm night. 1 out. Starling Marte is the batter, but first a quick word from Zaxby's.
Fried chicken salad under 600 calories with the dressing? You better believe it. Only at Zaxby's.
Marte walked and scored in that New York 3rd. I got to tell you, can't be prouder of what Max Fried is doing tonight, considering how seriously he could have been hurt.
Yeah.
In that 3rd inning, this guy.
He's been pitching a fine ball game, man. Sometimes you run into a situation where it just unravels a little bit, and that's exactly what happened. Got a little weak contact.
And you know, when you face a guy like Scherzer or the Mets, when they face Max Fried, you can't fall behind more than a couple of runs. Otherwise, it gets really, really tough. But Max doing what he can to hope and help the Braves offense get back in this game. They had a chance in the 5th inning, a couple of hits, but couldn't break through. One pitch. Max Fried has such a boyish face, but that guy has the heart of a champion, and he is doing all he can in game 2 of this doubleheader tonight. And rolled foul, 2-2. The frustrating thing for Max this year, first of all, you wonder how he ever loses a game. His stuff has been so good. First the 2-2 pitch. Time called. The Mets game tonight kind of encapsulates some of the luck he's dealt with. He gives up so many soft hits.
Yeah.
And misses almost 97% of the opposing team's barrels. So he gives up his hits, but they're not hard hit. And sadly, there's been no remedy for that, as New York has scored 3 runs on 4 safeties. 3 of those hits came in inning number 3. He's throwing strike 1 to almost 70% of the Mets. And Marte, a good job to foul that off. Another thing I like is Max is pitching a much more effective game against New York on the road than he did back in Atlanta. I think the Braves starting staff was frustrated by how difficult it was to put away these Mets hitters. Much better job here in game 4 of this 5-game series. But this is an example. Marte's been at 2 strikes for a handful of pitches and just keeps spoiling and spoiling and spoiling. And this is a club that has some sock. They don't have a ton of it. They put together big innings by stringing hits together. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's low. Full count. I think it'll be interesting to see if that strategy will work in postseason play when you're facing 1s, 2s, and 3s in every series. And they're not there yet. Full count, 1 out. So Marte will see a 10th pitch.
Definitely making him throw some pitches here.
At the belt, and Marte was frozen. Strike 3, and 2 are out.
Boy, what a pitch. Down in that inside corner, just paint. Same thing that Scherzer did to Ronald there, just right on the inside part, caught him looking. Hope these guys are throwing like that. They're going to get that call majority of the time.
So Max has retired the last 6 Mets. Here's Lindor. Another hit for Francisco. And he scored on Dansby's 2nd error of the game. At the plate, but called low. Looks like Manny Gonzalez is giving the pitch up and not down.
Yeah.
Three balls and a strike for the Mets shortstop, who has scored a run in 9 straight games, including game 2 tonight. The pitch. Full count. In the 6th, the Braves will have Swanson, Olsen, Riley, Rosario, and hopefully others to face Max Scherzer. On the ground, big hop for Swanson. He'll charge and throws a strike, and Max Fried has set down the Mets in order for the second straight inning. We are off to the 6th inning.
Boats and Wave Runners, and by Kaiser Permanente.
Okay, Braves country, get your rally caps on as we head to the 6th inning. Mets enjoy a 3-0 lead in the shadows of Tom Seaver's statue outside Citi Field. Dansby Swanson goes to work first. Jeff, he's our Georgia Natural Gas impact player tonight.
See those numbers since May 1st, so consistent. 311 versus right-handers, 315 versus southpaws. He's played in 128 consecutive games.
He's 0 for 2 against Max Scherzer, who has had one 3-ball count in this game and leads by a 3-0 score. No runs, 4 hits for the Braves, 3 runs, 4 hits for New York. And he's commanding all 4 quadrants of the strike zone to this point. One and two. So Scherzer up to 80 pitches with nobody on or out in the 6th inning.
That's why it's important to keep this game close, even punch 1 or 2 across because of the bullpen being used in the first game.
Dansby got a hanger, popped it up. Ruff gives chase. Scherzer's there too, and Ruff puts it away in foul ground. 1 man down. Matt Olson has a hit in 2 tries, 10 hits against the Mets this year, 10 RBIs for Matt. So he is a 1 for 2 performer tonight. And I'm guessing, Jeff, that's the challenge when you face Scherzer. You certainly don't want to get to 2 strikes, but his strike 1 pitches are so quality you find yourself 0-1 or 2 almost automatically when he's on like he is tonight. Off the end of the bat, popped up. Drifting out is Lindor, who is in the shift. Olson is retired. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And Austin Riley, the hitter, he too is 0 for 2. MLB.tv is your place to go for the pennant chase down the stretch over the final 2 months. It's now $64.99. All out of market regular season games are live or on demand. Go to MLB.tv for all the details. 2 quick outs for Austin Riley, who looks low. 1 ball, no strikes. Broken bat down the left field line, and that is foul. And on a bounce, a Met fan comes away with an Austin Riley souvenir. It's an even count. The 1-1 pitch. Riley staring Scherzer down. A 1-2 count. He can work up, a little further up, and then higher than high, and then he's got pinpoint control in the bottom part of the strike zone too. Let's see what he does with this 88th pitch. All Riley could do is foul it to the right.
It's a rare cutter from Max. Third time through the lineup, trying to throw a little wrinkle at him.
Little pop toward right. Marte on the run near the line. He won't get there. It's a foul ball. Riley fighting hard in the Atlanta 6th. Again, the 1-2 pitch for the Braves' great third baseman. This is an MVP caliber battle with Max Scherzer.
Max is throwing some really quality pitches, and he's just fouling them off to stay alive.
Riley started today's play first in extra base hits in the big leagues. He'd like to add to that total here. Another one popped away.
Honestly, when Max started throwing that changeup to right-handers is when, to me, he really became one of the best 2 or 3 pitchers in the game. Used to be majority fastball slider to right-handed hitters, and started mixing in that changeup.
Riley will see a 9th pitch. And now he'll see a 10th. Tom Glavine talked about that, right? For him, it was the lefty-lefty changeup. And what a difference it made for him.
You got to know how to throw it. It's one that's got to be coming down in the zone. If you hang it too much, obviously it's a great pitch for a right-handed hitter to drive.
Another 1-2 try. Chopped to the left side. Lindor gloves, throws on the run. And the inning is over. Bottom of the 6th inning. New York still leads.
Before we get to the action, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
Take me out to the Giants. Take me out for a car. The Giant selection is something to see.
The working man, Pete Alonso, is up. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI hit tonight. Something got loose on the warning track in left field. And Alonso will go back to work here in the New York 6th inning. Alonso's had a nice series. He's added to his RBI total with his 93rd, most among all National League hitters. Max Fried is pitching a whale of a game himself. Just hasn't gotten a big hit in support. He's only thrown 76 pitches to this point in the game. And had a good hitter off stride with a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pair of National League All-Star teammates matching up for the 3rd time tonight. Max Fried, a first-time All-Star for the Braves. The first of what will be many trips to the Midsummer Classic for the Braves ace. And here's where Alonso has been dangerous, Jeff, with 2 strikes, not just against the Braves, but all year long. By today's standards for Alonso, '89 strikeouts with all his power is very efficient.
Especially one thing we've noticed when guys get on, he's able to kind of cut his swing down, it seems like, or at least do a better job of putting the ball in play.
Like that. Slow roller. Fried races to the line. Throws high at first. And Alonso will reach safely. Max, a great job to get to that ball, but in his haste he threw too high for Matt to keep the bag, and the leadoff man is aboard.
Well, Max, such a great athlete, does get to this, but was just throw kind of sailed on him, and you could tell he knew it right when he threw it.
So Alonso has a 3rd hit. 3 singles and another soft infield hit for the Mets, who lead the major leagues in infield hits this year. Now Darren Ruff. Ball 1. Ruff is 0 for 2. He reached on that force play. That was the crazy, scary sequence that saw a ball get away at the first base bag. Max tried to chase it down, and in his haste tripped over his feet and slammed headfirst into foul ground in front of the Mets dugout. As he tried to make the heroic play, Lindor came around to score the 3rd and final Mets run in the game. Ruff had a good cut. It's 2-1. One more game with New York tomorrow. Great pitching matchup again. Spencer Strider versus Jacob deGrom. Will make his first start against the Braves this year. Then it's off to Boston for 2 at Fenway Park starting Tuesday night. And we will have all the games on this very important road trip for the Braves for you on Bally Sports. Another dribbler. Riley charges, gloves this time, and throws past first. Everybody's safe. They're at 2nd and 3rd, and nobody out. I mean, Jeff, at some point, head to head, don't these infield hits have to even out?
You would think so. I think on this one here, though, you're going to end up seeing this be an error.
Ruff will get an infield hit, and on the error, he'll move up to 2nd base. Alonso all the way around to 3rd. So 3 errors for the Braves in this game. 1 by Riley, 2 by Swanson. And now the Braves in dire straits. And Eduardo Escobar, the hitter. The Braves in at the corners. Medium depth up the middle. A strike. Adrianza creeps in a step or two at second. Dansby.
That's a good thing with Alonso at third. If there's a ball hitting the infield, you have time to make the play and keep him at third.
Popped up. Acuna comes in. Olsen backpedals. Ronald calls everybody off. And there's no advance. Big out as Escobar flies softly to right. One man down.
There's one big out. First one.
Canna's 0 for 2. He struck out swinging last time up.
Imagine Max to keep working Canna in. Try to get a rollover, weak contact.
Infield still in with one out. And that floats in for a strike. Like Max Scherzer, Max Fried has his full arsenal of pitches to throw for a first pitch strike. He's 16 out of 24 in getting ahead of Mets hitters. He's trying to pitch out of a big 6th inning jam. 2 infield hits and an error have runners at second and third. That was close, but fouled away. 0-2. Well, where do you go to get Mr. Canna here?
Now you want something you can try to get him strike out on, whether it's swinging, looking. You just throw him 2 curveballs, and that one he almost shot down the line. Last time you got him on that fastball up in the zone, I wouldn't mind seeing that again. In and up.
A long look in, and Canna steps out. Chopper, Riley's got it. He's going to come home, and a collision at the plate. Oh! Wow. High throw. d'Arnaud caught it, reached back, made the tag, and took a big hit from Pete Alonso. Something went flying when d'Arnaud reached in after the collision. There's the catch. And d'Arnaud held on. Let's see if the Mets are going to challenge the out call at the plate. And d'Arnaud bent at the waist. Man, whiplash as Alonso came in hard at the plate. Clean play, but a bang-bang play. For the moment, 2 are out.
Challenging the out call at home plate and also catcher blocking home plate.
So, great explanation from CB Bucknor. 2 things in play here. Did d'Arnaud illegally block the plate?
There's no way, because the ball was up the line and he turned around.
And then secondly, was the tag applied before Alonso's toe touched the dish?
That's what we got to see. That toe, did the right toe get the edge of the plate or not? This is not going to be catcher's interference. Did it hit the plate, Chip? Here we go. This will be the best angle.
Well, I guess the question is, did the instep of the toe go over the plate, or did it actually touch the plate?
If the whole rule's clear and convincing evidence.
Well, we know if it was Alec Bohm, he'd have been safe.
Well, that's a given.
That was quite the hit that d'Arnaud had. Boy, he caught the ball in an awkward position. A great athletic play to reach back and try to get the tag on Alonso. As we look at Mets vision, I mean, it looks like the instep of the right toe for a brief instant might have touched the plate. And if so, that would erase the second out.
I don't know though. Can you tell? Because the dirt moved, not. I get what it looks like there. The whole fact is, can you tell that that ball that hit the plate or not?
As I said, if he did touch the dish, it was a grazing, glancing, almost instantaneously touch of the rubberized home plate.
After review, the call is overturned.
So on the fielder's choice, the call is overturned. Alonso scores the 4th run. Ruff goes all the way around to third. Canha reaches first, give him an RBI. And d'Arnaud still shaken up as Alonso celebrates with the first Mets run since the 3rd inning.
So close. That was a darn good play by Travis d'Arnaud to flip. That's a tough throw. The ball's taking you across the line. You got the runner bearing down.
And you understand why Riley made that play. The Braves are trying to cut off every possible run the way Max Scherzer is working against the Atlanta offense here in game 2. But upon review, the Mets challenge and were rewarded with run number 4 of the night. And now Guillorme hits with first and third, 1 in and 1 out. No balls and a strike for Guillorme, the Mets' second baseman. Good pitch. 0-2. The Braves bullpen has begun to work as Fried's pushing toward 100 pitches. Swing and a miss. 3 of the best pitches in a row for Max Fried all night. And that's the second out. 5th strikeout for Max. 2 away, and Nido the batter.
Boy, look at that. Good sinker in.
Nido has doubled and scored tonight. In the 7th, the Braves will have Rosario, d'Arnaud, and Ozuna coming up. They're down 4-0. Slow roller. Olson's got it. Fires to Fried, and a near collision at first again. A little indecision for Matt Olson, but he recovers, and a great job by Fried to get to the bag and end the inning. Is in front. Let's check out our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. The Atlanta outfield has taken off at the same time the Braves team has.
Yeah, no coincidence. That's about that same time that Michael Harris took over in center field and really shored up the defense. And ignited the outfield. And offensively, Acuna now's come on. Rosario, great work.
Travis d'Arnaud is going to be very sore after that collision with Pete Alonso. He gingerly makes his way down the dugout steps. Braves will evaluate him.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're going to see Contreras come out on deck because he's up second.
And the shame of that is d'Arnaud has 2 of the 4 Braves hits. So Kelly, what are you hearing down by the Braves dugout?
Well, our training staff working overtime tonight too, guys. I mean, George Poulis, Jeff Stevenson down here with Travis d'Arnaud. I saw Brian Snitker go over, and it just looks like it's been a decision that Travis is headed into the dugout, and I have William Contreras putting on all his pads and grabbing his batties at the top of the steps right now here in the dugout. So yeah, it looks like Travis d'Arnaud's night is done.
Thank you, Kelly. And he really took a shot, and you could see him grimace as Alonso, with that high knee slide, clean slide at the plate, scored the 4th Mets run.
Yeah, it's been a weird game. A lot of weak contact for the Mets, but scored some runs. And then defensively, the Braves just don't seem too sure of it right now. Usually the best defense in baseball.
Rosario is down on 4 pitches, 9 strikeouts for Scherzer. That's how the Atlanta 7th starts. Well, this raises an interesting question, and we hope nothing happens to William the rest of the way tonight. But if he goes down, who's your 3rd catcher?
Maybe Heredia?
Well, usually it's a utility infielder, so maybe it'd be Adrianza. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Hopefully Travis isn't more seriously hurt than he let on as he made his way to the Braves clubhouse tonight. Contreras in game 1 had a couple of hits and an RBI. He also homered in the Braves 9-6 win here last night. This is tough duty, boy. You're sitting cold on the bench, and you've got to come in and face an ace like Max Scherzer. Whose next pitch will be his 100th of the game, and he's got Contreras behind 0-2.
It's been the thing for him tonight. Almost all night you've seen 0-2, 1-2 to these hitters.
Scherzer trying to win his 8th game. He just turned 38 years old on July 27th. In year 1 of a 3-year contract with the Mets. The 1-2 count. And that is strikeout number 10. Scherzer with a double-digit strikeout game for the 109th time in his big league career. And that slider has been as good as any right-hander has thrown against this awesome Braves offense all year. So here's Ozuna. Marcell is 0 for 2. That's in for a strike to Ozuna. Hope you'll stick around for the stretch. It's presented by G&G. Trevor and Nick are standing by in our Atlanta studios to preview the wrap-up of the series tomorrow afternoon. DeGrom and Strider. And Scherzer brings this crowd to its feet in New York. He's been sitting 93. He has 95 in his back pocket when he wants it.
That's when you know you're going well, when you got 105 pitches and no one's warming up in the bullpen.
The 1-2 pitch. A changeup. Might start to stir now with 107 pitches thrown by Scherzer. He wants to pitch a clean 7 tonight. He just struck out the side. Mets lead the Braves 4-0 in Game 2. Time to send it to Atlanta for the stretch.
Seventh, a new battery. Jackson Stephens taking over for Max Fried. William Contreras taking over for Travis d'Arnaud. And Jackson Stephens has been brilliant in his last 10 relief appearances, sporting a .73 ERA. And then speaking to him just earlier this week, guys, he said one of the most impactful conversations he had earlier this year was with Darren O'Day, who mentioned to him that the guys who are able to come up, stick around for a long time, and he even pointed out Jesse Chavez. He goes, they're guys that make the most of their opportunities every time they have a chance. And he goes, naturally, the older you get, the wiser you get. I had an opportunity with the Reds, but now I've done everything from pitching in the Mexican League to Venezuela. And when I'm out here, all I'm trying to do is use my best pitch, whatever that is in every situation, Frenchie, which I thought you would really appreciate. And he goes, and I'm just attacking. And that's all I've been doing. It's been working for me. And he kind of joked, he goes, so I'm hoping to stick around as long as Jesse Chavez and Darren O'Day. That'll work for me.
Well, he got two great guys to give him advice, Kelly. And when you think about Jackson too, Chip, you know, when he came up, we figured, man, this is a 1-2 week thing. He got an arm. And that heavy sink he had, he kept throwing the ball well. Snit kept running him back out there, and here he is, you know, late in the season, pitching in meaningful games.
And he will face the top of the Mets order in the bottom of the 7th inning. There's William Contreras, new battery for Atlanta. Max Fried, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, and 5 strikeouts. Braves defensively committed 3 errors behind Max Fried. Of the 4 runs Max allowed, only 2 were earned. So Nimmo looking for a hit. He's 0 for 3. Stephens has jumped ahead 0-1 and just hit him. Off the elbow guard and then off the left arm of Contreras. That's something else the Mets have had happen a lot. They get hit by a lot of pitches. Yeah. They don't strike out a lot. They get on base any way they can. They get a lot of soft contact. This time, though, a double play perhaps. Close play at second and slow developing. And Marte trades places with Nimmo at first with 1 out.
Yeah, Marte, good speed. That was going to be tough to double him up.
That brings up Lindor. Francisco tonight has scored a run. He's 1 for 3 in the game. Game 1 went New York's way, 6-4. Braves rallied last night, won 9-6. Jake Odorizzi made his Braves debut in Game 1 of our doubleheader today. He went 4 2/3. We found out that he was cramping in the hot, humid weather at the start of today's play. He got an IV after the game, and we were told that he should be good to go for his next start, which should be down in Miami. That's won 8-5. Here they lead 4-0 as Max Scherzer with 11 strikeouts. Contreras, a great throw and safe at second. The throw short hopped into Dansby Swanson. He made the grab and tag in one fluid motion. Marte called safe. If that holds, it'll be 13 steals for him.
Good throw. All right, got that hand in. You could tell right before the tag got him.
So his 13th stolen base. And an RBI chance for Lindor, who's got 77 of those. One ball, one strike. Lindor batting left-handed now for the first time in this game. And has a 1-2 count. I'm guessing Scherzer's done after 7 innings and 11 strikeouts.
I would think so.
108 pitches for Max unofficially, 23 swings and misses. Not bad for a 38-year-old man. 1-2 pitch. That's into this big crowd in New York on a beautiful Saturday night. Two balls, two strikes. Alonso with a 3-hit game is waiting on deck for the Mets. A full count pitch coming for Francisco Lindor, and he lost it. First and second, one out, and Alonso coming up. That's only the second walk earned by the Mets here in Game 2 of the double dip.
Alonso's 3 hits tonight. Dropped the bloop in a right field infield single, so this should be a bullet right at shortstop for a double play, right?
I hope so. Braves haven't turned one of those yet. Here in the nightcap. Can't give the Mets any more. We've got 6 outs left. We're down 4-0. Good pitch for a strike. Alonso far and away the biggest home run threat on the Mets team with 29 of them this year. He has 29 of their 111. But he's also hit into 11 double plays. And look, it's very apparent from an offensive standpoint the Mets are preaching putting the ball in play. And they have done that with great regularity tonight. They lead the major leagues with infield hits. They've got 6 total hits tonight, 2 or 3 of them soft, but they have really hurt. As that had the plate but low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Not too often you see a first place team, Jeff, being out-homered for the season. But that's the case for the Mets, who entering this doubleheader today had given up 7 more home runs than they have hit. However, they have scored 101 more runs than their opponents before the start of our doubleheader today.
I guess, look, as long as you give up solo shots for the most part,
yeah,
you don't mind it.
Six balls, 6 strikes for Jackson Stephens with 1 out. Breaking ball slowly hit towards short. Dansby's going to make the throw to first. As hustling towards second was Francisco Lindor. Smart play by Swanson to get the out at first base. Runners at second and third for Darren Ruff. Speaking of infield hits, Ruff has 1 that came in the 6th inning. In fact, they had back-to-back infield hits in that inning. Need an out here, the pitch. Pushed him off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. I don't know Darren Ruff's story. We saw him some with the Phillies. Went to Korea to play for 3 years. And then came back, won a job with the Giants, and then got traded to the Mets. And he's off to a very good start with the New York National League club.
Yeah, you look like the Braves going to get Iglesias, Odorizzi. Mets didn't do any huge splash moves at the deadline, but they got a couple pieces that they thought would help them. Vogelback a while ago, and then Ruff to be that other part of the DH. Tonight playing first to give Alonso a night off.
Again, these teams so similar in this regard, Jeff. They're looking for star players to return to form in the second half. We've seen flashes of that in this series from Ronald Acuna Jr., which is awesome to see, I should say. And the Mets are counting on Jacob deGrom, who pitches tomorrow. Tyler McGill coming back.
That's the one thing with this Mets team, though. You know, we talk about the power of the Braves. The Mets, they get in the playoffs, they're going to try to win from their arms.
Yep.
I mean, that's how they're going to have to do it and get some timely hitting.
2 balls and a strike for Ruff. Yanked foul. That almost picked off Marte, who says, hey, hit it the other way, Darren. Joey Cora is the Mets' third base coach. He gets the red badge of courage for standing about 40 feet away from Darren Ruff in the right-hand batter's box. He's trying to get a good angle for Lindor at second in case of a hit. And now the 2-2 pitch is lifted out toward right center. Harris and Acuna converge. It's going to be Ronald making the play, and Jackson Stevens puts a 0 up in the Mets' 7th inning. We go to the 8th. Check out our T-Mobile coverage cam. It's been an interesting night for Travis d'Arnaud. Jeff, first the good news. A couple of doubles for him. It's been a month since d'Arnaud's had an extra base hit. Tonight he had 2 of them.
Yeah, shot him down both lines, the right and left. And then this is the play that ultimately kind of took him out. Tough, he had a turn. He got beat up a little bit tonight.
That was quite a shot for d'Arnaud, who had to leave the game for William Contreras. Max Scherzer is done after an 11 strikeout, 4-hit shutout performance, and the Mets give way to Michael Givens, whom they acquired at the deadline from the Chicago Cubs. As you see, Givens, 20 walks in 42 innings. We will take all help the Mets wish to give. Givens was one of the 5 Mets pitchers to work last night. 1 walk in 1 inning. He'll start with the 8th place hitter, Michael Harris, who has an infield hit in 2 tries. That hit came against Max Scherzer. And on the first pitch, he rolls out towards second, and Harris is out number 1. Adrianza coming up. First, a quick word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Ede Adrianza is 0 for 2. You've got the top of the order to follow. You'd love to see Adrianza get on and let the 1, 2, 3 hitters do some damage here. As Givens with that little hip turn misses with a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. That's bullpen, 21 wins this year. 415 strikeouts in 365 innings. Many of those from Edwin Diaz, who has struck out over half of the hitters he has faced as the closer. That ball's hammered into the right field corner, and it is going to bounce off the base of the wall. Awkward carom handled by Marte, and Adrianza has a 2-base hit. The Braves are in business in the 8th inning, 1 on and 1 out.
Now this is why right here, beautiful piece of hitting. Turns on it, lines it off the wall, but this is why you wanted to try to keep this game somewhat close, knowing that Ottavino and Diaz, good chance they're down in this ball game.
So there's the start. That is the 3rd double for the Braves offense in the game, their 5th hit. Now let's see if Ronald can bring home Adrianza. Ronald is 0 for 3 so far tonight. 7 hits in this series for Acuna. He had 4 singles last night. And those 4 singles gave him 500 in his major league career. He's got 502 hits. Now with the Braves. Couldn't pull the trigger. It's an even count. Givens got a lot of decisions with the Cubs. He was 6-2. Way outside. 2 balls and a strike.
I mean, you look at their bullpen right now. If Ottavino, Diaz, we saw Lugo get a lot. I mean, you got the part that you want coming in the game here for the next 5 outs.
The Braves gave him a finish in the 9th inning in game 1. They're trying to do it late here tonight. Stroked into right center field, down for a hit. Adrianza had to hesitate, but he'll come around and score. Acuna's going to try for 2. The throw is off target. He hustles in, back-to-back doubles, And the Braves are on the board. It's a 4-1 game. Ronald is looking like Ronald again.
8th hit this series now. 5 singles, 2 doubles, and the homer. That's just a slider off the plate, and he splits that gap in right field. You got the right part of the order coming up right now.
So 13 doubles for Acuna. Swanson the hitter. Keep the line moving, Dansby. He's 0 for 3 tonight. 4-1 game now. That's bullpen is stirring. The pitch. Outside, ball 1.
And they're trying to get Rodriguez down there ready as fast as he can. I'm guessing with Olson coming up. Dansby can get on here, boy. And if he does come in, Olson hits lefties, and you got Riley up behind him that he would have to face.
Made him throw a strike. So the Braves have spoiled the Mets shutout bid. Bullpen coach has the PitchCom device duties as he hands his cap to Rodriguez. The pitch off the plate. Boy, would this be a great game to steal away from the Mets. A night where Scherzer started and was dominant. Braves have a shot here in the 8th inning. 1 in, 1 on, 1 out. Acuna at second. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Dansby. Chopper hit toward third. Tricky hop. Throw to first is just in time. Heck of a play by Escobar to handle the hop. Acuna was playing games with him, and he almost forced a high hurried throw to Ruff, who corralled that for the second out. Runner still at second, and Matt Olson the hitter.
That ball almost jumped up on him and ate him up over there at third, but good job by Escobar staying with us. Watch this hop.
So Matt Olson, a left-hand hitter. The best Matt could do is make it a 1-run game. We wouldn't mind that a bit. Matt has a single in 3 trips tonight. They give him virtually the entire left side of the infield. Lindor playing almost right behind the second base bag. Guillorme in the outfield grass. Ruff guarding the line at first for New York. And as we keep saying, the thing that's so fun to watch about Matt, he's a doubles machine. He's got plenty of power. But he also leads the Braves offense in walks. If he can reach, he'd bring the tying run to the plate. And that's Austin Riley, who waits on deck. Took a shot at left and fouled it away. Even count. Scorched and fouled at first. So Olson down to his last strike. Nito the sign. The pitch. Rolled to the right side. Guillorme's got it, and the inning is over. The Braves get a run on 2 hits. It's 4-1 now. Bottom of the 8th.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
Saturday night at Citi Field in New York. The Mets lead late. 4-1 is your score. We wrap up the 5-game series here tomorrow. And that is the man on the mound. Our Verizon projected starter is Spencer Strider.
He's been outstanding. Excited about that since May 30th, which was his first start. Strider leads the NL in Ks with 96. Only Garrett Cole has more in all of baseball with 98. Said between him and DeGrom tomorrow, they're going to be lighting up that radar gun.
And as you said earlier in game 1, with the 4 o'clock start time, the shadows will wreak havoc on the hitters' eyesight in the early innings.
Should be a lot of fun for the hitters.
Yeah. So Jackson Stephens back to work in the 8th inning. He's got to hold him right there and hope the Braves, with their final 3 outs, can put together a 9th inning rally. The Mets bullpen is busy, leading 4-1. Eduardo Escobar, the New York third baseman, is 0 for 3 in the game. And takes a strike. Two balls and a strike for Jackson Stephens. He's pitching for the 2nd time in the series. He worked an inning in the Mets 6-4 series opening win. Max Fried went 6, 4 runs, only 2 of them earned. He struck out 5 tonight. Braves need a rally to avoid pinning loss number 4 on Max Fried tonight. That's hit to the right center field gap. Long run for Ronald. He'll get there and cut it off with a backhand. Streaking towards second is Escobar. The throw is not in time. Adrianza says check it. Escobar called safe for the moment. Stu Surewater says safe. Let's see if the Braves check this.
No, I think he must have got in. They got that left hand in.
So a leadoff double. Escobar hustling out of the box. He now has 21 two-base hits. Just a little too long for N.A. to reach. The hand of Escobar, who's aboard safely in front of Tyler Naquin, who's going to pinch hit here. Tell you what, one thing we've noticed about Buck Showalter, when he sees a favorable matchup, he is not afraid to go to his bench. $37,452 here for game 2. And this is a whole new crowd. After a near 4-hour first game, crew here at Citi Field really did a great job getting everything ready for another 37,000 plus to wrap up today's doubleheader. Naquin, a 2-homer game in the series. In his Mets home debut, to be exact. The first Met in the history of their franchise with a multi-homer game in his first home game for the Mets. Naquin to a knee as he was a little late.
Yeah, good fastball there. Beat him on the outside corner. Important to try to keep this runoff at 4-1. The Braves are ability to hit the long ball. Still very much a game.
Fly ball left center field. That's going to get down. Harris over as quickly as he can, but it's not going to be fast enough. A pinch hit single for Tyler Naquin, and the Mets add on in the 8th inning. It's a 5-1 game. And every button Buck Showalter has pushed in a pinch has worked out.
Good piece of hitting. That ball was off the plate, but it kind of hung enough. You saw where Naquin was able to put good wood on it. The thing about it, these kind of platoon splits right now, it only works if the players accept the role, if they're buying into it. So far right now, it seems to be these Mets hitters are.
On I count, that's 3 pinch hit RBI knocks for the Mets in the first 4 games of this series. They have all been important ones. Here's Guillorme as New York leads 5-1, and a strike to him. He is 0 for 3. Five runs, 8 hits for the Mets, 1 run, 6 hits for the Braves, 3 errors also a big part of the story for Atlanta. Got to clean that up with Strider and DeGrom here tomorrow. The pitch. Reminder, we have 8 games left with the Mets. After tomorrow's game, the final 7 will be in Atlanta. This is a very important series, but this is not the end all for Brian Snitker or Buck Showalter. They know that. Runner goes, good jump. Pitch is a strike, no chance for Contreras. And Naquin steals a base. New York trying to put it out of reach here in the 8th inning. Another hit would be a big problem for Atlanta. Guillorme has a 1-2 count. Off Jackson Stevens. It ricochets to Riley, who makes a strike to first. Let's see if Jackson's all right. 1-5-3 is the put out. Runner to third, 1 away. I think the Braves medical staff's going to come out and check Stevens. Let's see where it got him.
Somewhere down there on the leg.
On a part of the right calf, maybe?
Yeah. One thing, that's a big old boy out there. Like he's telling him I'm fine.
Well, let's make sure he'll get a couple of courtesy tosses here. Braves have already lost Travis d'Arnaud tonight. He got banged up in a collision with Pete Alonso at the plate, which turned out to be a run-scoring play.
The infield will come in now with one out. Nido up to bat.
Nido doubled and scored in the 3-run Mets third. One in, one on, one out in the home eighth. A bunt. Olsen will have only one play. Nido lays down a bunt. Naquin scores the second 8th inning run, and the Mets having everything go right in this doubleheader today. When you put it in play and you play soundly on the offensive side, you don't have to hit a lot of home runs to give the other team fits.
No, give credit on that one right there. They got the runner over, and Nido did a good job. Just getting the bunt down, all you're doing is giving yourself up to get a free run, and he was able to do it.
So 2 runs in the 8th inning extends the New York lead to 6-1. In the 9th, Riley, Rosario, and Contreras are scheduled for the Braves. Mets are playing their 7th doubleheader this year. They are 10-3 so far in doubleheaders. They have already swept 3 doubleheaders this year: the Giants, the Braves, and the Cubs. Little pop, and Matt Olson will gather that in on the warning track. Last call for the Braves in the 9th. It's 6-1 Mets in game 2.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
In game 2, as we contemplate the top of the 9th inning, here's a quick message from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
With our free in-store assembly and pre-assembled grills and smokers, buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store. So keep those grilling plans at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Austin Riley, Eddie Rosario, and William Contreras are coming up. Speaking of Austin Riley, he is our StatCast 3D feature presented by Google Cloud. Riley loves hitting the ball hard.
Is that good company to be in right there?
Man.
I would say so. Second only to Aaron Judge, just above Trout, Stanton, and Vlad Jr.
Tyler Naquin will stay in the game. He will play left field for the Mets in the 9th inning. And the Mets have a new pitcher. This is Trevor May, who's in his 10th game. Look, disappointing doubleheader to this point for the Braves, but a little perspective is worth mentioning here. If you don't come back in this game tonight, but you win tomorrow, you leave town losing only 1 game in the standings. Now, I'm not saying it's a given because we're running into Jacob deGrom. Spencer Strider is going to match him pitch for pitch, but with so much head-to-head action left between the Braves and Mets, as I said, Jeff, the positive is this isn't the end-all series between these two teams.
No, not at all. You know, it makes your margin, you know, for error a little bit smaller, but At the same time, look, tip your hats to the Mets so far today. They've played good baseball all day today.
8-5 win in game 1, leading 6-1 in game 2. Austin Riley, the Braves hitter, looking for a knock here in the 9th. And didn't get that. He's down on strikes, 1 away. So Strider and DeGrom will wrap up the series here tomorrow. We will preview that and recap the entire day's worth of work for the Braves on Braves Live postgame. That will follow us here from Citi Field. I'm really glad we have a 4 o'clock game tomorrow. This has been a hard-fought
long
doubleheader
day
today.
Yeah, you know, you look at the Braves have won the division 4 years in a row. You know, it's not going to be easy. Every time you come now, teams like the Mets, Phillies, they want to knock you off. The Dodgers last year, Giants knocked them off of the division.
Eddie Rosario digs in and takes inside. No swing, 1 ball, no strikes. As it stands now, Scherzer and Fried are the pitchers of record in game 2.
You know, if you remember that stat we showed last night, after losing 2 games in a row, the Braves are the only team that has not lost 3. 12-0, averaging over 6.2 runs a game.
And that's exactly what happened in game 2 when Atlanta erupted for 9 runs on 14 hits. You give Spencer Strider 9 against Jacob DeGrom, you like your chances.
Well, and you know, another thing too, you can work DeGrom's pitch count some. It's not like he's going 100, 105 pitches tomorrow yet, so.
Yeah, he went 5 innings in his first start. And the reports on DeGrom were as good as he was, that as the game went along, his velocity began to drop. So we'll see how it all works out. Pop fly left side, headed over the Braves dugout and into the stands. Two balls and a strike. May was placed on the injured list May 3rd. He was on the 60-day IL with right triceps inflammation. He's got a big fastball. And now the 3-1. Strike. Generous call outside corner. Eddie thought he earned ball 4.
Yeah, I don't blame you,
instead.
Eddie. I'm not happy either if I was you sitting there 3-1 and get that called on you.
Instead, it's a full count. On the ground into the shift. And the Braves are down to their last out here in the 9th inning. And William Contreras is the final hope. We will hear hopefully from Brian Snitker, get an update on Travis d'Arnaud, who left after his collision with Pete Alonso in the 6th inning. Hope nothing serious for Travis.
Yeah.
Real good news for Atlanta offensively. Ronald Acuna Jr. 8 hits so far in the series. He is heating up, and we'll need that tomorrow. Fans in New York giving Contreras the business as that's taken low. Ball 1. '97 on the corner. Braves have 1 strike left. His second outing since his return from the IL. He's got a 2-2 count. Driven toward right. Marte in the corner is going to turn and watch that ball go. William Contreras with a 2-strike, 2-out homer. And the Braves pull a run closer.
Now another opposite field home run for William Contreras.
So the Braves catching core, we've been bragging on them all series long. d'Arnaud 2 doubles, now Contreras a 2-out homer in the 9th.
Look, all you got to do when he's supplying the power at 96, 97 is get the bat head there. See if Marcell can keep it going.
So 15 homers for Contreras. Here's Ozuna, bases empty, 6-2. To left, and Naquin is there, and the Mets take both games of the doubleheader. Game 2 is New York 6, the Braves 2, and 1 more tomorrow. Strider and DeGrom here in New York.
Now, for the second time, Chip, this year we've come in here and on a doubleheader, Mets have won both games. You got no choice but to come back tomorrow and win a ball game. I don't want to lose one game on the standings. Give a lot of credit. The Mets played good baseball today. They played sound baseball. Max, I thought, pitched a good game. Got unlucky there in that 1 inning and cost them. And the way Scherzer pitched tonight, 11 strikeouts, 7 innings, and 4 hits was just, he was too much tonight. So, like I said, you got to find a way. It's been a long day. Put it behind you and come out tomorrow. You got Spencer Strider on the mound. Win a ball game.
Scherzer beats Max Fried. The Braves, if they win tomorrow, will escape New York, losing just 1 game in the standings. And that's going to be the goal here tomorrow afternoon. Our coverage starts at 3:30 here on Bally Sports. For Kelly Kroll and Jeff Francoeur, Chip Carey, thanks to our fantastic Atlanta crew for their hard work on this long day of baseball in Gotham. Trevor and Nick will wrap things up in our studios. Braves Live, presented by Xfinity, is next.